Aloha friends, these first two moves that are the movement snack are some of the weirder looking ones that I love doing because they protect my low back and that makes me happy. So, first one, these are both ones dealing with the muscles of the low back, specifically the QL or quadratus lumborum. So 4 of them, and these muscles when they are either tight, weak, overly activated, whatever it may be, can cause a world of discomfort, so we want to get away from that. Neither one of these will cause any issues. So, scoot in your puppo back. First one, I'm going to lift my left hip up using the muscles of my trunk, and I'm going to pull it back a little bit. I don't know if you can see how distant my feet went, but that's like a 1-inch difference. And I'm going to pull my right hip back, left hip, right hip back, left, right. And I can go the other way when I don't have a cute little doggo laying on me. I can go left forward, right forward, left forward, right forward. Conveniently giving you a terrible wedgie. I recommend something like 10 feet back, 10 feet forward. I probably just did 3 or 4 feet. They're actually quite tiring, like surprising. I'm doing teeny little movements, but these teeny little movements are being controlled by the largest muscles in my back. And then I can do, just for context, I got both of these movements from a super heavyweight power lifter who's also a physical therapist. So he's really great at being strong, and he's really great at staying out of pain and helping other people stay out of pain as well. And this one he calls the fat caterpillar because he's a good 300 plus pounds, and it has me doing similar but using my shoulders to start the walk, and then I let my hips follow. So my shoulders leave the ground. I'm kind of making this side to side motion as I also engage my back. I'm sure I could do this the other way, but I don't think I'm coordinated enough to do it. So I only do those backwards. But among other things, warming up, strengthening muscles that are typically just not focused on enough. Another thing it does is it really gives your back a good massage on the ground. I know that sounds funny, but it feels really good after you finish it. So that is our movement snack. If you thought that was weird, wait until you see our strength for the day. So we've done these like shifting horse stance movements. So we've just done regular horse stance squats. But one of the best ways to own a range of motion is to move in it. And I'm going to do a couple steps without stepping on mat. I'm going to go into my horse stance squat, which conveniently is about the same width as my mat. And I'm just going to take little steps in it. I could take bigger steps, going over my dog. And I could also go backwards with these movements. And the focus is on shoulders over hips and knees pushed out. So what we're going to do for this one is make it a time focus. 3 to 6 rounds of 30 to 60 seconds of forwards and backwards walking. You can walk in circles, you can do it however you want to. You could even walk in place, and the focus is on nice upright torso and that shift side to side. And that bounciness of the movement is going to help the movement be a whole lot more comfortable. As with anything that's range of motion related, don't feel like you need to push your end range of motion to the max today. We've got a lot of time to do that over time, and on a first exposure to anything isn't the time for it. And then our guts and butts. Hey buddy, I'm tied up. You all tied up? We're going to start in a hollow position, and we're going to call this the checking hollow. So when I'm here, it's pretty easy to check that my abs are on and my ribs are tucked down. I would feel it if they lifted up, so I'm crunched up. Another thing I can check is my low back close to the ground? And with my hands free, I can check that. Now, can I get one leg out and check to make sure that my low back is pressed to the ground and my abs are tight. If so, can I get the other side? So we're going to call this a diagnostic. You're taking in the car for a checkup. Can I get both feet? And at this point, like, I start to pull forward a little bit, but I could do my checks if I weren't talking. So low back, abs tight, and just check to see where you start to lose it. So that's our guts, and I'm gonna have you do 10 to 30 seconds in that hold. Diagnose what stays tight, what starts to loosen. The idea behind practicing this position so much is I should be able to hold this position from here to here while a bunch of other stuff move around and do a bunch of different other things. And that's core bracing at its finest. We call it core to extremity. So core to extremity. Is this braced, and can this move independent of this? That's what we're looking for. That's athleticism, that's injury prevention, that's all the good stuff. And then for our butts variety, we're going to go with the holds at the top. This is another one. You'll be starting in this back position, laying on my back position, and squeeze up. If you wanted to, you could do your butt checks, but you could also just lightly lift up a foot or so, see how it feels with weight more on one side. So we're diagnosing, are my abs still tight? Are my glutes tight? If you wanted to, you could move a foot up, but we're spending 10 to 30 seconds at the top of the bridge position. How much you move is up to you. You might just choose to hang out and hold it. You might choose to really start fidgeting with your feet a little bit. I think even lifting your toes up, you'll feel different engagement. And then if you do go to lift your foot, the only rule is if that foot leaves the ground, the hips don't sway very much side to side. They can sway a little, but what we don't want, let me over exaggerate it, is doing like a bridge up, and then when I lift a foot, like that twist down like that, or anything like that. Like we lose great stability. That's our no-no for the day. So we've got our super, all of this is nice and delightfully super weird today, but I think that's why you guys still like me. You see me fly my freak flag high and proud, and I am grateful for you joining me. Thanks, friends. Peace.